It's homecoming week for the UNI Panthers, and it brings a top 20 matchup to the UNI-Dome. We talked with head football coach Mark Farley about the huge MVFC opener against Youngstown State. We'll share a story on Trevor Allen and his impact on the Allen family tradition. We look at defensive end Brawntae Wells and his deep drive to be bigger than himself. And we find out what characteristics Baylee Petersen gained from having a college volleyball coach as a mom. This is Panther Sports Talk.